At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
Welcome to Views from the East podcast. I have a really special guest with me today. We're going to talk about steps on how to day trade. But before we get into that, I just want to introduce the gentleman real quick, the trading expert, Jimmy Lewis.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
What's going on? Good. What's going on, man?
Chilling.
First, thank you for sitting down with me because I know you're really busy as a husband, father, and all that, on top of what you do.
Man, yeah.
So I know it took us a little bit to get down to this, but trust me, I already knew.
You're going to give the people what they want, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important information as well. Pardon me, excuse me. Hey, right now I'm doing an interview. Can you call her a little later? Yep, because her iPad is off, so you're calling my phone. Oh. All right, bye. Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. My daughter's best friend. But anyway, what was I saying? I appreciate you taking out the time to sit down. This is important information. I think a lot of people are interested in doing this, but a little bit hesitant to do it. Even myself, you've been talking to me for years about doing it. And I was busy trying to do my own thing at the time, so I just didn't have the finances to play with. But you don't really need much anyway. But I just figured a lot of people talk about trading, but I'm like, I actually know someone that's been doing it for years. So why not ask him to kind of give people, some tips and tricks and, how to start that process. So basically what made you want to start day trading? Like, what was it that, how did you get into that?
The craziest part is my daughter one time, because I used to work from 8 o'clock in the morning, actually from 7 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And then one day I came home and she was like, I wish you could stay home. Yo, that hit me hard. So I'm like, I need to find a way. Yeah. So I'm watching Steve Harvey, and I saw this guy named Timothy Sykes, right? So he's talking about day trading, traveling all over the world with his laptop and trading. So I'm like, man, I need to look into that. But for years you've been hearing about stocks, and everything about it is negative. So I'm like, I need to stop listening to what I heard in the past and just take the steps. So from while I was at work, I'll have a laptop on the side and I'll just like learn. While I'm at work, I'm learning. So I decided to invest $20 just to check it out. And then that turned into 10K.
$20?
Yeah.
What the hell?
And I never looked back after that. I just gave my 2 weeks. Even my boss is even a client of mine.
Because he's like
boss that I used to work for. Now a client of mine for trading stocks.
That's crazy, bro. Because
amazing, man.
You said $20 to 10,000.
$20. If no one wants to believe me, check out the stocks. It's A as in Apple, L as in Larry, P as in Paul, P as in Paul. It was below a cent when I bought it. And went all the way up to $10.
And then look at that. So you was like, look,
man. So the fear of saying you're gonna lose your money, A lot of people are trying to take a step back to say the same way you could just step outside or go to McDonald's and spend $15 or $20, $30 at the fast food. You could just invest that, man, and you'll be surprised. And the thing about trading is you have to practice every day. It's not a one time or 2 or 3 times and then you call it quit thinking you're going to get rich. That's not how it works, man. It requires practice, and you need to be in front of the screen just to understand what's happening.
Absolutely.
You could take all the classes you want. Until you're practicing it, it won't work.
Yeah, because it's so funny. Like that's one of the things you said there was key, because the screen, right? One of the things that I see is and it sort of like discouraged me years ago, where I was like, that looks like a lot of information on the screen. It looks like it's a lot to process, and it's like to trading. I understand nothing is guaranteed, but obviously there are huge gains, and yes, there are huge losses as well. But I think it's really looking at that screen and seeing all the information, all the lines, the different colors, and I'm like, whoa, that looks like a lot of stuff going on there. Let
Yeah,
me
that
go into
pushes
this.
that pushes a lot of people away. But in reality, is the trick.
Yeah,
It's just I remember the quote that says, "Opportunity dresses like work." That's why a lot of people don't do it. It looks like a lot of work, but it's really not. It's really a chance for you to have the freedom that you need. Like right now, I'm at home for the past, I can say, damn, since my daughter was born, man, I've been home 24/7. I never worked for no one.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, how long have you been
Wife and
trading?
we just been home.
How long have you been trading?
Damn, it's gone for like 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
And listen to me, guys. He came to me years ago, and I was in the process of starting my own business, which I'm still working on. And I was just like, I don't have the brain span. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't more or less of that I didn't want to do it. It was just like I'm working on these two things: husband, father, work. So it's like, holy crap, my plate is full in a sense. However, it was like, damn, listening to you now, I'm like, maybe I should have, put some other things aside. I mean, it's never too late, but
It's never too
obviously,
late. It's never too late.
never too late.
Never too late, man. But and another thing that opened my eyes was being Haitian, right? You watch your dad go to work every day, busting his ass.
Absolutely.
And then after he retired, it's still like the same. Just like, what was it for? You feel me? Just like you still getting a little bit of still like kind of like trying to put here and there just to make things happen. It's like there's no way I'm gonna give my whole life working for someone else and then just to get a little paycheck each, every month or every 2 weeks. Nah, I had to shift my mind completely, man. So I'm hearing retirement. I'm like, nah, I can't fall into retirement. And that's the lie they're trying to tell us. Just to keep us in one place. So you think you're saving for retirement, but really, what are you going to do with that retirement after you're done busting your ass?
Yeah.
Now you're tired.
Yeah.
You're not even going to be able to enjoy your money, man. And I learned this thing. They say when you start getting old like that and there's nothing for you to do, that's when you start attracting all the disease, all of the sickness, and then you die because now you don't have nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the sad part, man. And I had to shift my mind. It's like, I need to find something quick, man. There's no way I'm going that route, 9 to 5. No way.
And it's funny too. Obviously not all 9 to 5s are the same, right? So, if you're getting paid a huge lump sum of money, some people, and again, I was one of those people that falls into it. Like, yeah, definitely agree with everything that you said, but then I was like, oh, I'm making all of this money now. However, you're not always guaranteed tomorrow. So that's why, one of my things is, even if you're making all of this money, or even if you're making a little bit of money, it's at some point the money has to start working for you. And I think once because I was one of those brainwashed individuals as well. I'm getting paid 6 figures. I have, I have my 401k. I have these great benefits. I have all of these things going on, but really, it's like, okay,
it's a trap. Yep.
Yeah, so
because at the end of the day, what do you have for your kids? You feel me?
Exactly.
What do you have? What can you actually pass down to them? Not the job.
No, absolutely not.
Exactly. So
absolutely
you really have to shift your mind and see what's the reason behind it. Do you just trying to survive, or you just you want to live life, man? Because your kids will look up to you, regardless if you say, oh, blah blah blah. If they see you go to work every day, they're gonna wake up and live life and wake up every day and go to work as well.
Yeah.
So one of them decided I'm gonna step out the box, and that's what I did, man. Even taking my kids to school, we're homeschooling them. We wanted to take a full round circle to say, let's try something new, because we've seen where they're at.
Yeah.
And they try that. So let us try something. And everyone was just like, what? The kids are not going to school? What about college? What about this? I'm like, It's all confusion, man. It's all confusion.
You want to know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure like maybe your dad, your mom, because I take the same heat from my dad as well. And even my mom, like, now I'm trying to do these things. Like I said, start a business, I had a podcast. I have this other thing I'm trying to license. Like, I'm doing all of these things, and they're terrified of that because they're so used to what you were saying. Like, they're so used to going to work 9 to 5. They're
safety and security. Exactly.
Yeah. So they're like, what are you doing with your money? No, don't do that. And I'm like, listen, because they don't, the problem is because they don't see the return right away. That's what makes them panic. You know, if I
Yeah.
said, hey, I was going to start a business, and within 6 months I'm like a millionaire, then to them it's success. But what they don't understand is no business starts like that. It takes a while, depending on what you're trying to do. It can take time. And if you don't have that patience and you don't believe in yourself and you don't push yourself, of course it'll be harder for you to find that success. But I'm pretty sure, like, you know, when you said, hey, I'm leaving my job, I'm just gonna stay home and do this, I'm pretty sure your dad and your mom.
Oh, you want to hear what I got from them? I was on drug, man.
You're smoking crack.
Exactly. Because in their mind, that's you must be crazy to leave a job that was paying you good for you to start something new. So it was totally completely different. Just to a point where it was just like, what about the kids? Blah blah. I'm like, trust me, I got this. Just let me try something new.
Yeah.
And look, I'm still here. If anything, thank God, I see my life got way better. I used to work from 7 to 8. My bank account was empty.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not even working, it's looking even way better than before. Just like it's mind blowing to see the fear that they put in people for them not to step outside for themselves. It's crazy, man.
Absolutely. No. And you know, and the key thing was for me, what I'm even hearing now for myself, I'm like $20. I was like, we spend that $20 on lunch. That's
exactly, man.
You get what I'm saying? So it's such a small investment that turned into something so huge for you. And I know that's not always going to be the case with every single thing, but the point being is that it's possible, and it happens. So it's an investment as small as that. To me, that's like what obviously you want the results, right? People want to hear the results, like, you know, why do I do this, and why do I get into it? So it's really good to hear from someone that, like, hey, this is all I had. So there's really no excuses. You know,
another thing is, let me put that to the side as well. This is very important, man. Your mind must be right, because when you buy yourself like this and you're not used to not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week, and then things are not going your way, your mind is gonna go crazy. And if you don't set your mind right, man, you could just drag yourself all the way to the ground. So you have to do the mind work as well. So all this spiritual positivity books, get on them, because they're gonna help, man. When you trading it's more about psychology than the skills. Like, you can know everything, man, but when it comes for you to apply your own money into it, it's switch. But if your mind is not right, you can know what to do. It's right in front of you. You're gonna mess up.
Yeah, that's crazy too, because I would imagine, like, let's say you on a nice losing streak. Well, I think that's where, like, budgeting your money comes into. But when you do see those big gains, you shouldn't just be blowing them right away. You know, you secure some things. You know, you make sure you put something to the side, because there are going to be times, like you said, I figure, where you're down for a while. So I could imagine being stressing, you like, oh man.
Exactly. Like, so if the mind is not right, man, things are not gonna go right. That's the truth, man. And every person that I ever traded with, they'll tell you, when they're not in the right mindset, they catch themselves losing so much more money than ever.
Yeah, because they panicking.
And say, oh my God, look, it was right there. Look. Why? Because your mind was not right in the right place, man. And that's the beauty of trading as well. And if you look, even in movies, when you talk about trading, you'll see they'll have a psychologist or a psychiatrist for these guys to talk to. It's a requirement when it comes to trading. Your mind needs to be right, man. It's not all about money, because if you're afraid of losing, this is not the game for you.
Now, you said, you know, the minute you started trading, you quit your job immediately, put in the 2 weeks. Of course, respectfully, some people just walk out. So I like that you put in your 2 weeks and worked your last 2 weeks. That says a lot about your character. I guess what my question is like, what were the exact steps? Like, I know you said you just, you know, you took the $20, but like, what was it? Did you have to open an account somewhere? Did you?
Yeah. Because since you mentioned that, I was going to teach people, I was going to show them even how to open an account for themselves, and also how to open an account for their kids. Because you can also transfer stocks that you buy for yourself and say, if I buy 100 shares, I could send 50 shares to my kids, and then they could handle it when they turn 18. You know, like things like that. Like, I wanted to show you. But yeah, so the steps was, I had to prepare my mind, because don't forget, we've been trained to know one way: go to work,
Mm-hmm.
go to school, get a good job, or whatever else that comes about that. If you become a doctor, that's even. And
Yeah.
if you become a lawyer, that's they feel like they're on top of the world. You feel me? It's just I wasn't about that, man, because I already know that I'm not trying to live my life for someone else. So I had to find my way. So I took my time to just spiritually books like YouTube,
Yeah.
audio books.
Mm.
Every day that I go to work, man, I would listen to this positivity, like telling me, like, take the step forward, take the jump, like, don't be afraid, be confident. Like the bad moment is gonna come. It's how you approach it. So I just train my mind just to approach that kind of lifestyle because it's not for everybody, man. I'm telling you, when you used to get a paycheck every two
Mm.
weeks, and now you go on like a whole month, 2 months, nothing is coming, but bill is still coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that mind, man. It's like you really have to work the mindset for you to analyze anymore. You in charge of everything. So
yeah.
it's a whole new step. Spiritually, you have to do the work. That's the first step.
So
First
real
step.
quick.
Yeah.
So real
Meaning, like,
quick.
you have to remove any old ideas, any old beliefs that was passed down to you. You have to let them go, man.
No. No. Yeah, no. You have to. It's the only way you can become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur
Only
doesn't
way,
have the
man.
same mindset as, I've always respected working. I've never been the person that says, I can't work for nobody. That's beneath me because I believe, everyone, you have to earn a paycheck. That's one. But I think it's not just about the paycheck. It's about taking the experiences you get out of that. So it's like, you go into a job, you're entry level. And of course your goal is always to be promoted, and then one day you might become someone's boss. And I think, again, my goal isn't to stay in that atmosphere, but it's to take the good from it as well. It does a lot of bad, but to take experiences and to bring it with you. I felt like that was important.
No,
um
the damage is when you don't know that this is not the end of it. It's like you
exactly.
wake up every day, you do the same thing. Is just you're not
Hmm.
evolving.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
trick. And then you think you're doing the right thing because you have kids. Now I'm just go to work every day, but you want something new for them.
No,
That can
absolutely.
never happen because what they're seeing is what they're gonna bring into life. Unless one of them decided, hey, let's step outside the box, let's try something new. And that's
Yeah.
what I did, man, because I could have easily, they want my ass. Oh, Verizon is hiring. No, I'm like, sorry, I
No,
can't do that.
I can't.
Doesn't mean I don't want to work for someone. It's just now I have kids.
Yeah.
If I'm
Hmm.
gonna do anything, is when I pass, they have something to lean on because I didn't have that. So if I'm gonna try anything, I have to try something else. Like I'm
Absolutely.
looking at people doing it, I
Yeah.
could do it too. So
No, absolutely. And I can't imagine, being home for so long. And even if you're on like a downhill of things, I can't imagine going back to that program because you have your freedom, like you said, waking up and seeing your kids every day, seeing your wife every day. you know, um, that's something a lot of people take for granted, to be honest. Like, if anything, the pandemic should have gave people a little bit of insight. Yeah, it could be stressful at times, whatever the case is, but the fact that you're there, it's much better than being at work and there's an emergency at home and you have to ask somebody, hey, do you mind if I leave early? Or, hey, I have to do this, because you're on their schedule, you're on their time. So I can't imagine you going back to that type of situation.
and the worst is when you have ideas, but your job won't let you execute your ideas.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
worst.
Hmm.
It's just like, I used to be at work just writing things down. And now
Mm.
that I step out, I'm able to just, like, my wife and I, we own this like a marketing company as well.
Mm.
We hitting all these little small businesses out here. It's just happening, man. I could see it. Why? Because I took the risk of stepping out the box and just following through, man. But again, it's not gonna be easy. I gotta tell you that it's not gonna be easy, man.
So real quick, because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know, right? Because that's what's going to determine the value of the information you provide, right? What was one of your biggest accomplishments you were able to achieve uh, with day trading?
Oh, now right now, like I could back that one up because my high school teacher that used to teach me, right?
Yeah.
So people think like you need everything with math. I was able to help him retire early because now he's making $20,000 a month. and bragging about it, because now he just left his job to open his own school, to do things his own way. And that was one of my biggest accomplishments, to say, wow, I'm willing to, I was able to give back to someone who helped me in the past. So that was the biggest gain ever, to see, like, even though that person was older than me, used to teach me, now he came back and I was able to help him. And then making that much gain for him to take a step back, to say I could finally follow my dream myself. That's the biggest thing, man.
And that's fantastic.
Whatever, man.
No, and that's crazy. Because, and you know what it is? The key thing in that too is, you know how older people feel like they know better and everything.
Exactly. So
especially Haitian parents.
It was insane. Especially I was charging $4,000 for the whole year.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm ready to go in.
Yeah.
Because he used to tell me, I don't invest in your business, I'm investing in you. So that kind of get me to just like trying to get better and better and better. Yeah. And it's to a point where he was making so much money. Like, I used those texts in a way to even use those texts to attract clients. It was just so amazing to see the type of work I was doing to someone way older than, and not even that, he used to trade.
Yeah.
You know, that could have been like, oh man, I don't think I have nothing to teach you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bring my confidence forward to say, wow, this is my chance to prove what I could do. And I was able to do it, man. And that opened doors to a point where he goes to other teachers just to come, hey man, you got to learn this. Yo, reach out. You know, that used to be one of our kids in the school, blah, blah, blah. So that opened a lot of doors for me as well. So that was a big accomplishment right there.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I guess the second part to that question is, obviously everyone wants to know, you know, based on how much you're making, this is what determines how successful you are. So, you know, what were some of the big purchases you made from your profits?
I'll say a BMW, which is dumb.
You had to, right? It was that dream car. It's like, yo, I need to get that.
For a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to like see it, and just like to be able to just go and say, there it is. Like, and don't feel like you know, like pinching all over the place to make things happen.
Absolutely.
It's an amazing feeling, man. It's like, now it kind of make me in a position to understand what it's like to be free. You know, you go to the store, you don't even worry about how much I'm gonna spend. It's just, this is what I want. Boom, that's it.
You're getting all the organic foods. You're like,
exactly. And then you go back to the computer, you make that money back again. Yeah. And that's the beauty of trading, man. It's like, I find a trick where if I transfer $500, that same $500 get processed the next day, right?
Yeah.
So I transferred $500 to another bank account. So I got my $500, but the trading account doesn't update their account for the $500 to remove, right? So that transfer happened 2 days. It shows on the account. So because it's electronic, I'm able to use that same $500, flip it over.
So by the time they take that $500,
by the time they update my account to take that $500, I already double that $500 again.
Exactly.
So that's how I've been doing. That's how I've been doing it, man.
And the reason I ask you these questions is not really to like pry into your life, but a lot of people, you know, I want them to really understand that, you know, you who I'm speaking to today is this is not like a, you know, I made a few bucks here and there. This is someone that has been very successful. This is someone that's been doing this for almost a decade. This is someone, you're also a homeowner, and all of these things, and all of that came from all of this.
I have a small clip. I think it was last month. I recorded making $400 so quick, right? So I have it on the screen. If I could share my screen, I'll show you. It's like,
absolutely.
It happened so quick, man.
No, absolutely.
And show people how easy it is. Like, if you know the steps and avoid all the distraction with the lines, with the words, with the definition and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I make it as simple as possible, man. Just a couple steps, boom, $400.
Yeah, you go ahead and share that screen. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, cool.
I think everyone would want to see some steps. Hopefully it all works out. You know, first time using the sharing system on the software, so but you should be able to.
Yeah, I should be able to. All right. Hey, can you see it?
I can't see it, but hold on. Let me see something. Hold on. Let me see. Because it's not. I would assume it would have asked me for like permission or something like that.
Let's see. I'm gonna do it again. And
Because that was yeah. Because I just assumed because I could share my screen now if I want. Because when I do that, it's gonna does it open the next tab over?
I have it open right here, but I know you can't see my screen at all.
No, I still see you.
Okay.
So I think when you hit the share, you're hitting share screen. Yeah, the tips. Hit that again. So like there's a window and then there's a Chrome tab. So you have it open. The technical difficulties. Hold on, we have some comments. So in the meantime,
I could send it. I could send it to you if you want to share it.
absolutely. Let me see the pandemic. Absolutely. From a Facebook user. Hey guys, if you guys are gonna leave comments, I think there's something where you have to give Streamyard the permission to show your name in your profile pic. If you don't want that, you don't have to. I'm just letting you know, just in case you were wondering. But I definitely agree with this. The pandemic definitely had a lot of people at home while they were collecting unemployment. Some of them were just taking that money and blowing it and doing nonsense. But there was a lot of people that I saw that said, you know what, I'm secure. We're getting unemployment checks. I still might be getting a check for my job. You know what? Let me try this thing that I've always wanted to do. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, that was a good thing. I think I had a few people actually give it a try for during that moment for sure. They did.
Perfect. We have someone here, Cobb's Capital. Hey, what's up, fellas? New here, but already loving the content. We appreciate that, man. I felt like this episode was so important. I was waiting for it for so long because it was like, this is the information people need, not just people, even myself. And I said, you know what? Why not just have this conversation out in the open? We could have pre-recorded and did all of that, but why not, bring in everybody into the conversation? And again, if you guys have comments, you can also jump into the live stream as well. You know what? Let me post the link in the comments. I won't let you in right away. We'll get through the our interview and everything. We just want to figure out. You could send me. Let me see something. Send it to my. Let me text you my email address because that's weird. I would assume it would just allow you to do it.
Oh, I could just send it to Facebook too.
Oh, you can send it to Facebook. All right, cool.
I could do that.
You just posting it on your page, and then I'll just go to your page.
Just send it to a message.
Copy. So let me actually do that now. Hold on, we have another comment. Let me put that up. The music you guys are hearing in the background, that is from the artist Dice Cannon. The album is called The Saws. Real great music, real smooth. Let me see.
All right, so tell me if you receive it because I just sent it your way.
I always wanted to do trading, but I'm a little bit hesitant.
Oh yeah, that was me, man. For years, I'm telling you, for years, people been telling me, but all I kept hearing was negative stuff about it, man. Oh, you're gonna lose your money. People are gonna steal your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was the bet, man.
You know what it is? It's I think it's because they don't hear enough from the people that actually did something well with it. Because sometimes those people are just not accessible. Like you see, I can call you. I can get on the phone with you. I can, if I need to see you, I can see you. However, I have access to you. Usually, the people that are successful, they usually just hang out with other successful people, and they're not. Like, for example, look at you. You're taking people on and you're teaching them and that you're making them your clients. Not everyone is willing to do that. A lot of people are just,
And another thing, what you just said is right, because I remember working with kids, and in order for them to see something new, we had to take them outside of the project, like outside of the city completely, to a point where they decided to go to college just because of that. It's just like the people you're around. You're looking at even people that certain jobs that they do, you'll see the same people around have the same type of jobs. And no one is willing to step outside the box. It's like, oh man, you're making a lot of money. get me in. Oh man, you're making a lot of money. Are we moving forward?
Yeah.
No, we're just going in a circle like this.
Yeah.
We're just passing the same thing over to the next person, and we're going like this.
Yeah.
Until someone step outside the box and try something new.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing we could do, man.
I have the screen pulled up. What I'm about to do is
If you bring it on your screen, I could explain it while it's going on as well.
Copy that. We have a question here. Did you start with penny stocks, and what trading company software do you use?
Yes, I only trade penny stocks, and I only use TD Ameritrade as my software.
There you go.
Penny stocks only, man. I'm not trying to be in competition with people able to buy Apple stocks, Google stocks. That's too big of a competition.
Yeah.
Like I'm holding on to 20 bucks. I'm able to buy 1,000 shares with just $20. So, all right. So if you press play, so this is a company that I don't know if you press play yet. I was gonna
Hold on.
Oh yeah, that's one of the clients that I had. He couldn't even understand his gain, so I had to explain it to him.
There's a play button for me to because it's
There
making me
should be
do
a
it like
play
a
button there.
slideshow. Hold on, let me see. Because I have this, and then I have this. Is that the way it's supposed to go through, or
What, you think you can't play it?
I think this is just photos, like 3 photos, unless you sent me more than one message.
That's strange, dude.
But you see, yeah, looking at the screen, y'all, while we have it up, look, this to me is like what is
to you?
If you text it to me,
and then you can send it to your
to my email. Yeah, because it's saying you sent them as a photo. Yeah, but you see, looking at the screen here, it's crazy. Try sending it to me again. That's crazy. You said it's supposed to be a video. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free. This is the time to ask them. You can do that in the comments. You guys, I also left a link for you guys to join the actual conversation. However, I won't let anyone in until near the end of this. So that way we can get the information from him first, and then we can go ahead and proceed to jump in and have a chat. Hold on. We have another question in the meantime. You see the questions as I'm putting them up, right?
Yeah, on the bottom, yeah.
All right, perfect. So this is like, how do you identify penny stocks that are worth it? That's a very good question.
Oh, that's a good question. So the thing that I do is so that I think I know what was happening. I didn't have the security, the privacy thing wasn't open. That's why I couldn't share my screen. But so what I do is every morning we have access to this software, that picture you see on the screen. So if you look on the bottom left of it, there's like a little description of what's happening. So pretty much every morning when you wake up, you will have this little notification that tells you, hey, look, this company just receive a couple $1 million to do this and do that. And that's when you go about it to find out, okay, let's take a step back to see how they were doing. Are they aiming down or are they aiming up? And if you look at the screen right there, so I read this news in the morning saying that this stocks, I can't really see it, but they received something after hours. So I drew the line right up there. This is where the stocks went. Last time it went up, it took a stop right there. It did not go anywhere else. So I drew the line to where the stocks went up and did not pass. So what do you do when you do that? So when you hit that red line, it comes right back down.
Yeah.
And then on the way down, you also look at the support. So, and the way to explain this, we're looking at it as the floor and the ceiling. So the ceiling is where the stocks hit and can't go anymore. So it hit the ceiling and that's it. And the floor is, if you look on the way down, this is where the stocks found support. On in this section, go up. If you go,
You want me to?
we see where I drew the line for the.
You talking about the red line?
Yep, that red line. Okay, you see where the tip of it just touch the red line.
Yeah, right here.
Right there. So this is the ceiling point.
Mm.
This is another thing you want to pay attention to. So if the next time the stock go on the way up, if it passed that breaking point, we call it a breakout. So if the next time the stocks is on the way up and it break that section where it actually passed this level, that's a breakout section for you to pay attention to. That means it's gonna go higher than it went before.
Okay.
And that's the only pattern that I ever played that's so easy to play. You draw that line, and if the stock's on the way up, break that line, you know it's a breakout, and that's your chance to get in. Because it's gonna hit another high or it's gonna hit another ceiling to come right back down.
Mm.
And it's like a little cat and mouse game, man. It's so simple. It's like I wish you could play it, man. I'll send it to your text. Let's just tell me if you receive it.
Let me see.
Yep, you should have it.
Okay, I see it now. So what I'm gonna do with that now is we're playing with technology here. I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna forward it. Let me see what I can do with it. This is crazy. Let me see something. So I'll stop sharing for a bit. See if there's any questions or anything that came in. And
what about now? Can you see my screen? Because it looks like it just worked.
Yeah. So you probably had your thing. There you go.
Yeah, I have my privacy thing going. So can I play it now and explain
Absolutely. Yes, sir. You see, you have the full. You have the floor.
Cool. Perfect. All right, so let's lower the volume for this. All right, so this is what I was talking about. So in the morning, this is what I do. If you look at it, it says that I get named new CEO. So they just bring someone new into the picture. So what you want to do with that is just you could do a couple things with that news alone. So you could go on Google and find out who that person is.
Okay.
Why would they name someone as CEO and the stock start moving? So you want to know what was that person's past? What other company that they dealt with that they bring up? So if it's a good person that they bring in, the stock is gonna go up. Meaning like that person is gonna do a good job, and the company is gonna thrive, and that's when you come in. So I read the news, I see that, and it's moving. So the next thing that I did, I drew my line. Because this is the resistance line where the stocks went up in the morning and then it took a stop right there. As you can see, it just stopped and then went back down. Now it's on the way back. It's on the way back down as well. So it went back down right here. Let me pause. So it went back up, hit that line, went back down, get support, and then on the way back up again. As you can see, it did not break the line. Okay. It almost did, but went right back down. So this is where people wait for the breakout. So in order for you to get in the stocks, you need to wait till it breaks this line. That tells me that, okay, if it breaks this line, it's going to go high. And if you pay attention, you're going to see this is exactly what happened. They call it breakout. Right above the line, that's where I'm going to buy. That tells me if you break that line, it's going to move. So I added some of the little settings to make you understand. It's like a line that give you a better ideas. They call it simple moving average. It give you a little bit more curve of what's happening. That's why I use it. And from there you could see I'm going to buy my shares because it did the breakout. So it broke, and early in the morning like that, as you could see, everyone was trying to buy it. I'll take a step back. Going to buy my shares now. So I was trying to buy 1,500 shares.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy 1,500 shares. Everybody see the same move, everyone was trying to get in. Instead of getting my 1,500, only 467 went through, as you can see. From 1,500. So that means everyone else was watching exactly what I was watching and trying to get in. It was hard for every order to go through. So I got only 467. But I know if I keep going and pay attention to what's happening, I could add more. So what I did, I add more shares to it. Now I'm at 1,800 shares.
Gotcha.
Over here, it's like 1,800 shares at 180. And no, I have 1,800 shares at 91 cents. So buy my shares. Trying to buy 1,500. 467 went through, as you can see right here. 400 at 91 cents. And then I'm already up $1.35. And this is I'm gonna go back and show you guys to the screen right here how easy to use it. Like I don't do too much with all of the settings and everything else. So this is me buying stocks. Yeah, I got it. Now I went back and trying to place the order again. Now I was able to go through at 1,800 at 91 cents. And now it's going up $1. I'm up $230.
Mm.
And it's not even 10 o'clock yet.
And you got them each at 91 cents.
Just like that. There you go.
So you bought it at 91 cents.
And that was it.
And it just kept on.
Once that is done, I'm just done for the day. Just go play with my kids, man. And this is the beautiful life of trading. And this pattern presents itself over and over and over again. And if you go and Google breakout, you'll hear a bunch of stuff about it, man. That's the easiest way to make money. You just look for the breakout, and that's it.
That's crazy. He said after that, I just go I just go hang out with my kids. And that's the dope thing about it, man. It's like just to be able. Now you see, I'm looking at all of that, and I'm like, that's crazy because you're literally just sitting there, just watching your money go up in a matter of a day.
Seconds, actually.
And yeah, look, I was trying to be generous. Seconds. And again,
seconds, man. And that's the beauty, man. It's like you're looking at yourself making $400 in less than an hour, and people are making that every 2 weeks or every week or something. Absolutely. And it shifts your mind to let you see, like, yo, you don't have to work that hard to make money, man. You can work smart, not hard, but work smart, man. Because there's so many ways to make money, but if we're still going about it the same way, then we just dragging along the same. Ain't no change is gonna happen. We just going in circle like this, man. Until slowly, some of us is stepping outside the box and trying something new. And that's what we could do, man. And it's the best feeling ever, man. Even my daughter now is buying stocks, man.
That's crazy. And look at this. Let me see. I have money in my 401k, and it's just sitting there. I would love an honest person to help me turn over some of my money. Any advice?
Oh, yeah.
He's right here.
You know what 401k does, right? They don't buy the stocks that's really moving because they don't want you to have enough money to quit the job. So they put your money into the low stocks that's giving you tiny percentage of stuff because they don't want you to leave your job. If you wake up next day and then all the shares that you own to your 401k ended up with millions, you leave the job.
Yeah.
You just cash out. So when I went to mine, I noticed they were buying stuff that I don't even care about. Yeah. So I decided I'd call the company that hold my 401k, have them give them access to me, and I switch everything around. I was buying Facebook, all of that stuff, because those are what's going to grow your account. They don't want your account to grow as fast. They're trying to say, oh, it's for safety. Nah, it's to keep you in your job till you retire. So if you do have the chance to take over your account, start buying things that you see the future for. You know, like robotics, drones. Start putting your 401k money into that, and you could do that yourself.
No, and I say looking for someone honest to help, and Jimmy.
I'll send some information your way. You could share it, man, because there's a way you could take your 401k money without being charged any fees. and you could transfer it into a how do you call that account? Man, I just opened one, but it's another form of account where you turn your 401k into another account, and you could use that account to trade without being charged a fee when you take out too early and all that stuff. So
Okay.
I'll send that information your way to show people how they could take over, and don't let the job trick you like that, man.
Look, I'm listening. I'm just shaking my head over here. Hold on, I have another comment here. And again, at the end of this, I'm pretty sure people are going to want to reach out to you. They have questions, and he does help people, and he has clients all over the place. So, if you guys are interested, he's here. Let me see. I have another comment here. All I'm hearing is facts. Wish more people like us learn trading, had the opportunity to in school. And that's why we're teaching it.
Our kids need it, man. We have to shift them to a new direction, man. Because again, even telling kids they have how do you call it when they more active, hyperactive, when the kids move around a lot. How do you call them? They have ADHD.
Oh,
Well, it's just kids that love to move. Kids not supposed to be sitting around for 8 hours, not doing anything, just sitting there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Creativity is what we need, man. And I learn more from my kids than they learn from me, man.
Jimmy, what's your guest name? I joined late. Jimmy, what's your guest?
He meant to ask you.
Me? You want to know what's funny? Yeah, both of our names are Jimmy. So
yeah,
I don't. and
that just flipped my mind just now. It just went over. Totally forgot that both of us are.
Yo, listen, when you texted me the other day, I thought it was my daughter texting me through my iPad. I was like, what is she doing? And then I just and it's so funny. And I'm like, what were our parents thinking? Because we're cousins. So I was just like, what were our parents even thinking? Like
same name, man.
That's the go. That was the go-to. Let me see. Thank you for your advice. Again, guys, if you guys want, because I notice a lot of you guys are just Facebook user and it's not showing your profile or your name. That is okay if that's the way that you want it. However, I think there's instructions for you to release your information, so that way Jimmy could see it and maybe reach out to you on the Facebook, in a safe space in Messenger or whatever the case is, and you guys could get to it. Do you want to quickly just share your Facebook screen, or however you want clients to get in touch with you?
I also was going to share to them how to also open an account, but yeah, I'll share my Facebook. This is it right here.
All right, perfect. So I'll add that to the stream real quick and give that a little full screen. All right, guys. So that's it there for you guys. If you guys have again ask questions here, he will answer here. But if you're interested in taking it a step further, this is where it is here.
Here's the next thing. Even if you don't open an account for yourself, even if you, like holding back, do it for your kids, right?
Yeah.
Go to tdameritrade.com and click on open an account, open new account.
Yeah.
And then use the UTMA UGMA account. Open an account for your kids, man.
This is important. Yeah.
This is very important, man. They need to. They don't need to go down the same route that we're going through, man.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important to. And I tell people all the time, even if you're touching a good. That's why when people tell me they've had this amount of money, and and it was like they did nothing with it. Really, it was just
exactly, man.
You should have gotten an asset. To basically, pass on to your kids, because let's say, what was the old asset? I guess like for me, at least, if I feel like I leave this earth, but I can leave her a home, now she doesn't have to worry about paying rent, ridiculous amounts of rent. Obviously, rent has gotten crazy in New York. So it's only going to get worse, right? So at least, at the bare minimum, I would say, to leave your children assets that they can use to help better their lives. When I was growing up, I had to worry about rent. I had to,
exactly,
that crazy
stuff. And that's why I said what I said. Even if you don't want to do it for yourself, please take the time to open that account for your kids. Because even with $20, $10, there's stocks you could buy like thousands of them. That's nothing right now. But by the time it turns to that age, when they're like 17, 16, that's the biggest thing. And then you're going to sit there and be like, wow, I'm so glad that I spent $10. I'm so glad that I, put $20 in that account for you. Because you could actually adjust the age to 18 or 21 and they can't touch it. You feel me? So it's the best thing to do for your kids, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking at my life. I'm like, man, I can't go down the same route, man. I have to leave something behind. Like even my daughter now is like, when she comes to my screen, she's like, oh, wow, it's about to go up. And if she wants to buy something, we're going to buy the company first.
Yeah.
Like she owned Mattel, all the Barbie that makes all the toys. I make sure she buy one or two shares. So just like, click the button yourself.
Yeah. And let her see it.
Just to give her the experience. It's just like, you need to learn how to make money.
Yeah.
What else? But you need to learn how to make money work for you. And
Absolutely.
if you have that skills, nothing can stop you, man. Just learn how to make money work for you, man. And they taking it in, man. They'll come to my screen. It's just like, oh, it's green. It's going up. That means I can have this toy. So I try to relate it to toys just so they could have a little bit of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works, man.
How many hours do you spend a day? I know you said you wake up in the morning and you get right to it, but like how long, I want to say, do you dedicate? Is it like an 8-hour shift type of thing?
Nah, man. I'll be all over the place, man. All I have is just my phone.
And then you just
watch
it.
It's like in a lazy day, I'll sit right in front of the computer right here and just do my thing while the screen is on. I'll do, also we own like a marketing company, so I'll do some little edit and stuff we do while the screen is going on. But yes, I do wake up at 4:00 because that's when everything starts. Like you'll be the first one to get a dip of everything that's happening. So 4:00, the market is open, and then you get to hear everything that's happening, and then from there you make your decision to go back and say, wow, okay, that sounds good. Let me go find out what they're about. And then you go to the past and look at the last report, just do the quarterly report. Are they doing good? Are they doing bad? What are they doing? And all of that takes times, but it's a less chance of you losing your money because now you set a foundation to know how to get in or if you're going to get in. And sometimes the best trade, no trade is the best trade at all. You could sit there and just watch it. Because now you're taking notes without even spending your money. It's the best trade ever to just sit there and just watch it.
So do you so like I'm trying to go back to that video where you were showing like you bought the stocks, this how much stocks you bought, and then you was watching the money go up and up and up. How do you know when it's time to sell? Because I'm pretty sure there's situations where you sit on it for so long, then it goes back down, and then you miss that opportunity to have made that 400 because you was thinking that it was gonna go, forever and ever. So how do you know when to sell? Even if you see it going up and up and up, there has to be a point where you're like, you know what, this is good enough.
All right, so I'm gonna show my screen again to show you what we do.
Got it.
To in a sense, just to get out. Sometimes we use it to get out. So you see my screen, right? Let me lower this again. I'm gonna pause it right here. So you see this point right here, this red line I'm crossing.
Yeah.
If the stocks goes below this, out. This is my ways. That little point right there.
So you have your ceiling, and then that's
my floor. If it goes below that, we out. And if it does any trick, like like instead of going up, and this pattern is like when you have two green ones, it's supposed to, and then it's playing this little game, and then the volume is also a mess. You're just like, okay, time to get out. I mean, you could sense it, but there's this thing in trading stocks, and that's why I mentioned it before about the mindset. There's this thing about you afraid of missing out. This time you're trading, you're holding on to the stocks, you make so much money. And this time you're trading, you're holding on to the stocks, and you are up $1,000 and go back to negative.
Yeah.
Me, like I'm 9:30, I get into the stocks. By 9:45, I'm up $1,000. I'm like, damn, it's so early. That means it's gonna keep going. Went downstairs, came back up, negative $100.
Yeah.
That's greed. I was afraid of thinking that I could get more out of that. So because of greed, I lost.
How much time passed when you went downstairs? Or you went downstairs for a minute or something?
Just for a few minutes, because I'm like, it's 9:45, market just opened. That means this stock is gonna take off. If it dip, it's just gonna dip like $200 and then boom, go right back down. But it just went straight back down.
That's crazy.
And that was because of greed, because $1,000 in less than 15 minutes, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But the mind, man.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. So now you go to the next day, you're looking at the stocks and it's just like, wow, it looks good. But now you remember about yesterday or what happened.
Yeah.
And then instead of holding on to this one, you did the same action because of fear of yesterday. It's like, man, I held on to this stocks and went down. I'm not gonna hold on to this one. And that's the one you were supposed to hold on to. Why? Because you're holding on to fear that happened in the past. And that's why I wake up at 4, man, to just let go of everything, man. Just the mind needs to be clear.
Yeah, because I know you was kicking yourself in the butt.
Yeah, man. You beat yourself up to just like, damn, it was right there. And if the mind is not right, well, people commit suicide on this, man.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's kill himself, man, and it's because the mind is not right. You're giving money control over you completely.
Yeah, because when you take such a huge loss, yeah,
man, and then when you lose like that, you think you're losing your life. You're not saying it's the mindset that's making you lose. It's all these mistakes because you're not willing to just take the seconds to prepare yourself. And sometimes even if you take the time, 4:00 in the morning, meditate all you want. If it's the day to lose, you lose.
Yeah.
But you can't hold on to the past. And if you hold on to the past, you're not going to be a good trader, man, because you're going to hold on to a lot of fear that happened before.
Yeah.
Trying to apply it to the present moment. It's a no-no.
Absolutely.
It's a no-no.
So since we on the subject matter, what are some I guess notable mistakes that you've made yourself, aside from that one, I guess, of the $1,000? Was there like any big mistakes you made?
It's, I'll tell you this, man. Every mistakes that you make trading stocks, it's big. Yeah. And I'll tell you why it's big. Is because that lessons right there is going to apply. And if you don't pay attention to it, you're going to find out, wow, this is what happened to me yesterday. And I'm doing it again. It's like every little mistake. So I'll tell you one thing that I did one time. I bought the stocks. There's 2 stocks going up. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, man, I'm up, chilling. I'm going up. I'm like, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. I'm up 6,000 on one stock, 6,000 in one day. It's just going up like that, crazy. So I said, now I'm gonna hold on to the next day. Greed. Wake up the next day, gone. $6,000 just washed down. Just sitting there, just like, wow. Why? Because I could just click sell just to sell it. Now I created this rule around, say, when I'm up like this, I'm gonna sell like 75% of what I have, or just take the money that I invested and just leave the profit money to just double. So if I invested $100 and I'm up to 100, I'll take out 100 and just leave the 100 that I make to work for itself. So now if I lose, I didn't lose my money. I'm just losing the profit money. And that's how I ended up adjusting for me not to lose everything, man, because it's the mind, man.
I was like, up 6,000. I mean, so it's like in that instance, would you have said like, in hindsight, like, all right, next time I'll take out like $4,000, right? Because that's my money and profit. And then I'll let $2,000 sit and see what it does.
Exactly. But you know what? When you're in the moment, there's this thing we call FOMO, meaning fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So imagine if you have 1,000 shares, right? Just like the stocks I mentioned earlier, $20 to 10,000, right? Yeah. So $20 was able to give me 1,000 shares. When I was up 5,000, I was able to sell 500, right? But if I would have left that 500, that 500 shares would be a lot more. But because of fear, you want to take it out just to collect. And that's the game, man. They're trying to tell you patience. It goes up and down. But when it comes to penny stocks, you have to collect.
Right away.
What the company is about, you have to collect your gain when it comes to penny stocks. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, it's just finding that balance of, having patience and knowing when to leave. So
knowing when to let go, man.
And I think
the penny stocks, it comes with this. Like when it comes to stuff that I send to my kids, I see what the company is doing. If it's gonna be about the future, knowing that by the time they turn 18, this is what the talk is gonna be about. Like quantum computers, all of that futuristic stuff.
Yeah,
those penny stocks, yes, I'm gonna hold on to them. But when it comes to like COVID vaccine and all that stuff and cancer patients and all, collect your gain and get out.
Yeah, because that's it's in the moment.
It's just pump and dump, man. They pump it, talk about get millions, and then make some money and get out. And if you know the game, you do the exact same thing. You just get in, collect, and move on. But if you really thinking and then you found a small company that damn, they like the future, then you just hold on to that. And you'll find out you will have $100. You'll buy like 10, 20,000 shares of that small company that you could actually send 10,000 to each kids that you have. And then you just let it sit there, man. So imagine 10,000 shares of a company times what? It could be what, $10 in the future? That's a lot, man.
No, listen, I'm listening to you right now. I'm looking I'm looking over here. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have a different conversation. And it's not just because of this conversation in general. It's just it hit me, and I was like, there's so many opportunities, but I think and even I was victim to this, and I could say maybe a lot of people is like, and I think we get that from our parents, like you said, with the security,
safety and security. Yep.
It's like, I do this, but investing, how, and a lot of people don't even look at penny stocks. Sometimes when people hear trading and investing, they think of Facebook, Apple, those kind of stocks. Yeah. So it's like when you look at it, and that's how I started looking at it, just because of the companies that I worked at. It was like, I want to buy like if I want to make some money, I need to get these stocks. That's how it was. When you hear, I've heard penny stocks in the past years ago, but it was just like, I'm buying this for 5 cents. Like, what is that really going to get me? Because I wasn't thinking short term. I was just like, I need that stock. That's like, it's $100 now. And in the future, it'll be like $200, $300. Wrong way of thinking and being not educated on the matter.
Another thing, we have to remove the mindset of wanting it now.
Yeah.
I want it now. I want it now. I want it now. It's just, if you remove that mindset, things are gonna align for you, man. You're just gonna invest. You're gonna sit back, and then you're gonna wake up and be like, "Holy shit!" You're gonna be like, "Oh my god!" And that's what happened, man. I woke up and was just like, "Wow."
You was like,
without doing anything at all, man. And that flipped my mind when I used to watch TV and see people making so much money just in a few hours or a few minutes. People busting their ass making less.
Yeah.
When I start trading stocks, it makes sense to me, man. I'm doing less and I'm making more.
Yeah. Yeah. Work smarter, not harder.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Don't work hard, work smart, man. And that hit me so hard. And I kept saying it to my kids because it works, man. We think we need to work. Yeah, I used to work from 7 to 8 and I was broke.
Yeah. No, listen.
You're working so hard and you can't see why you're working for, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're working to survive. You're working to survive.
You're not
pay your bills
at all.
And it's crazy. And my wife, the other day, I was like, I'm gonna link up with my cousin. We're gonna do an interview or whatever the case is. Like, oh, do you want to jump in? And she looked at me with such anger. You know why? Because years ago, I think I was telling her that, you and I, we had this conversation, and she was like, oh yeah, like, you should, or whatever the case is. But again, because I had everything going on with the company that I was trying to start and all this other stuff, and I was just like, oh, I'll get to it. And then the other thing I was thinking too was, it's gonna cost a lot of money, because I'm not thinking penny stock. I'm thinking when you were saying it, I'm thinking, oh man, I have to have like a few thousand at least to get a good foot in. So the other last week I was like, hey, she looked at me, she said, don't talk to me. She said, I already told you to do that years ago. And I was like, I said, you see, missed opportunity. I mean, it's never too late. But imagine had I, it'd be a completely different conversation,
Never too late, man. $100, $200, $500.
Oh no.
Just play with it, man. And the more time you spend doing it,
Yeah.
better you get. And that's the beauty of trading. The better you get. And
Yeah.
it's not like you're in front of the screen. But the more time you spend, you start to learn more about yourself.
Absolutely.
And then money don't become a problem anymore. Because why? You know who you are, man.
Yeah.
And then you start attracting all these things into your life because now you're not chasing around, losing your mind, working your ass off for someone else. Because
Yeah.
now you're in control. Feel me?
Absolutely.
It changed the mind completely, man.
It's so
It's
funny.
amazing, man. I really, really want you guys really give it a
No,
try.
no, absolutely. And the funny thing is she already has an account. Like she already does she buys stocks and things like that, but not penny stocks. She has like, from various companies or whatever.
Right?
But she does have a nice little cushion, and she was just like, hey, I want to learn more. And that's why she wanted to kick my butt, because I was supposed to already contact you years ago. So and with something like this too, I feel and maybe there's other people out there, and maybe this is you too. I fixate so much on what I'm doing. Like if I say, like, all right, for example, like I want to start a podcast, I literally will sit there, watch hours of footage, get all the tips, all the tricks. What's the best equipment to get at a nice budget? Well, to my budget, and I'll fixate on this thing for days
Just to figure
until
out what to do. Okay.
so I could imagine. Obviously, with something like this, like I said, one of the things was I would see that screen and be like, "Oh man, that looks. I don't know what's going on with these lines, the color of the lines, all this little mini information on the side. It's a lot, but I've been teaching myself and learning, even through this podcast, because I changed everything dramatically to go virtual. It's like I've learned everything within probably like a day or two, just fixating
Exactly,
on. I'm
man.
talking to Jimmy. Listen, I literally was up for like 19 hours like straight. Woke up, yeah, family time, hey, how you guys doing? But literally came down here testing equipment, putting audio, visuals, doing all of these things. I don't have a background in any of that. People
Exactly, man.
technicians get paid, but because I fixated so much, so I'm in my head, I'm like, definitely have to sit down and chop it up with you, because I think I needed to have this conversation. I just wanted to share it with everybody, but I just really wanted to like get an in-depth, because you're giving the information. Sometimes you can ask somebody and they won't give it to you. They'll beat around the bush.
Man. Your success is my success, man. And
Exactly.
I tell everyone that, because the more I'm giving, the more I'm learning.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset you need to have, man. And what you just explained about yourself tells me that you're gonna do great, man. Because once you really put your mind to it, it's right in front of us. All the information is right there. And all I did was I combined everything, all the garbage, all this nonsense that's distracting people from making money. Get rid of all this. Like, hey, this is what you need. Learn these things first, and you're good. And that was always my way, man. It's like when I text you, it's just I'll remove all this extra stuff that I know that's gonna push you back.
Yeah.
And that's been doing that for a lot of people. I said, look, man, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. Just worry about this, and then boom, that was it, man. And
it's a mental thing. It's that mental thing that you're talking about, that mental fortitude. Again, for me, it wasn't about a fear of losing money, because what's the saying? Scared money doesn't make money. I've always believed in that. I've always believed in investing in something. It's just the mindset that I had was like, oh, I got to start with thousands. And because I've just invested in this, it's like, I don't want my wife to kill me. That's how I was thinking.
When we hear that kind of stuff, man, our mind automatically goes to people with money.
Yeah.
Only people with money could do that. Even when I mention it to my parents, that's what they see. It's like to a point where they even say only white folks could do it.
Yeah.
See, that's how the mind be, man. So they think only white folks could do what I'm trying to do. So I had to prove to them, look, it's possible.
No.
It's just you have to expose people. I know it's gonna be hard. They're gonna be on your case. Yo, I took it, man.
Yeah,
I'm talking all harsh words you could
I know how the Haitians. I know how the Haitians do.
But I know where my heart was, man. To a point when I know I'm gonna do something that you guys only see on TV. Like
what did they tell you
I'm gonna
today?
do something that you think that was impossible, and that's always my mindset, man.
What did they tell you today? Now that
now they just looking like now they calling people and tell people everything about it. It's like, oh, this person wants to do this. Can they send you some money to do this? I'm like,
Like, yeah, now
That's
they
the
now they
thing,
have
man.
1,000 clients. Now they have
Exactly. Now everyone knows, which is
yeah.
crazy.
You know what it is, man? It's a sad thing where, and even myself, I've gone through this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have. When you're trying to do something and it's different, and again, there's no gains right away, it's hard for people to believe in you. It takes them seeing you accomplish something for them to actually,
Yep.
you get
Very
what I'm
true.
saying? Where it's like, when I was younger, I stopped hanging out with my friends after a while. Not because I wanted to, but I was like, I need to spend more time in saving money instead of spending it, putting money aside. Like, hey, I need to get a car, I want to get a home. And to my friends, it was just like, yeah, but they had the mindset that they wanted to rent forever. They had the mindset like, I'll rent a car, I'll just rent my apartment forever, which is nothing is wrong with that per se. But because I wanted different, I wanted a little more. It's to what you said. I don't think they felt it was achievable. But it's like the minute I started doing these things step by step, from getting my first apartment to getting my first car and so many cars after. And it was just like, then all of a sudden, everybody was like, hey, let's do business now. Hey, how did you do that? Hey, teach me. And me, I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to give the information. However, too, the person has to be receptive. You understand?
They have to be on the same level in a sense, not disrespectful, but you'll say something to someone, they won't get it until they willing to like join you on the same level for them to understand.
Yeah.
Like I have close friends, bro. Like close friends. It's like, yo, man, you gotta try stocks. Nothing. Until they start seeing a gain, it's like, yo, man, can you help me? I just add $5,000 to my account. Like years later.
And then they was around you the whole time.
So now
now
it's like I'm not joking. Like 2 days ago, it's like, yo, man, I'm trying to buy a house, man. I just add $5,000 to my account. Like I could literally show you the text 2 days ago. Can you help me flip it?
Let's do business.
Telling him for years, bro, years. And when I tell you for years, he tried it I think he went like 3 times. If you go to my Facebook, his name is Johnny.
Yeah,
he'll say, yo, man, I woke up with $900 with $900 gain thanks to Jimmy Lewis.
Yeah.
And then he just stopped.
Yeah, man. Nah, like I said, for some people,
really
it takes a lot of I don't want to say trust, but it's like we're just not educated enough. And like one of the key things that stood out was when when your parents or my aunt and uncle felt that was like specific to a race that can only do those kind of things. It just shows how bad we're programming. I mean, and I understand the way of living just because of so many years of this is what we have to do to get by. What we have available to us now wasn't available to them. So that's why sometimes I don't always fault them so much.
Me too, man. That's why I just take it. I'm like, yeah, you just don't know any better. Honestly, it's all right.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's like they didn't know any better. Now we have the information. It's up to us.
Yeah,
we're gonna take the steps. Like they didn't have that, and that's what put me in a position to say, yeah, you could say what you want because I knew what you had.
Yeah,
you didn't have the information that I have now. So everything that I'm doing is because it's being presented to me, and I'm taking a chance. I don't need to follow your way.
Yeah,
because you didn't know any better. You were just doing what was given to you.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, certain Black people could have read certain books.
Yeah.
We didn't have access to certain things, and now that we do, I can't hold on to the old ways of living.
Yeah,
man.
The new generation has to.
New generation, man. We have to break that cycle, man.
Yeah, that should be any parent's goal, right? Like stuff that I didn't have as a child, I make sure my daughter has that, and she'll have that. And obviously for her children and going down that path, they'll always be one step ahead, to the point where no one will have to worry about anything but running companies or, like I said, being home, spending time with family, because freedom is everything, man.
Exactly, man.
So
that's what people don't understand, man. It's just you're making all that money, but think about it, man. Do you really have the time to enjoy that money? I mean, you're doing all that extra hours for retirement. When you retired, are you really gonna have the energy to enjoy that money?
You're already old and
trick,
beaten,
man. They trick your mind, and if you don't take a a second, it's like, let me sit back and really analyze what's happening.
Yeah.
Because there's no way someone's gonna say, hey, oh yeah, we offer you this job, $75K a year. Oh, here's $75,000. Here's a check for it. What do they do, man? They split it in a way for you to stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now you open your own business.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a client, it's like, here's $75K. This is how much we're doing it for. Here's a check for it. Because you're working for yourself.
Yes, it's a huge mindset, man.
It's a huge mindset, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man. Some people are afraid of working for themselves.
Absolutely.
They are.
Yeah. The confidence isn't there.
It's not there. Exactly, man.
And the fear of losing just outweighs everything else. Even if they know it's a possibility, you know, that fear of just like, I can't afford to lose. I can't afford to do it. You know, so it's a lot. And again, man, I really do appreciate you coming down to have this conversation, because, you know, there are a lot of people that claim to do what you do, but it isn't. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to call them scammers. I don't want to call them scammers, but or whatever you want to call them. But, you know, they give guys like you a really bad rep, because it's really, sometimes people are willing to learn and they are willing to trust, but they trust the wrong person, or they trust someone not as experienced, or you get what I'm saying? So then that's what the rumor, that's what goes around more than, hey man, he actually helped me make money. That kind of overshadows that, if that makes sense a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. So I'll use text messages that I get, screenshots that I get from clients, and use that, and not just use my words. That's why you won't see my face. I'll let my work talk for itself. Because I know it's like, if you win, it's a benefit for me, you know, because you get to tell people you're winning. Yeah. And that's what I love about it, man. It's like it works for itself. Like, you don't need to go brag about anything, because people really making money, they're going to talk about it. And that's why I love helping people making money, man.
Yeah, that word of mouth. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you're making a few $1,000s, of course you're going to tell someone about it.
I know earlier you said you wanted to show how to actually open an account.
Oh yeah, let me do that right now.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the first steps, you know, opening the account. And then
so if you go to like TDAmeritrade.com, and it's gonna give you the option to open new account. By the way, you could have multiple accounts. They don't mind that. You could select the first option. Everything else, don't worry about it. The next one is UTMA, which is for your kids and anyone else you want to give access or buy stocks for the future. So it's like the first option and the last one. And if I like the kids one better, because again, and pretty much everything else is personal information. Once you get to the next step, open an account. And for anyone else that's watching, you just select the first option, and then just follow the steps.
That's real nice, real simple, real clean,
real quick. And then you get your username and password, and then you just and the next thing you have to do, just download the software, which is also for your phone, called Thinkorswim. This is a software, you can have it in your phone as well, and the computer. And this is the software that I use. So you could download this. It would be the same username and password you use for your account.
Okay.
And what we could do, man, if you do have a few people open an account and they need like some type of training or whatever, like we could set up a time where, you know, I come in with you and then everyone else, and then we go through the steps.
And we do a nice little live stream.
Show them how to scan for stocks and what to look for and all that stuff, man. I'm willing to help, man.
I think that's important. And to be honest, I'll be more than happy to do that. Because in this live stream, I can have up to 10 people, right, including us. So that would mean 8 more people. So if you guys are interested in that, reach out to me. And I can set that up at a much later date. I mean, not much later date. I like to work. I like to get right to it.
Let me know, man. I'll be willing to show them the steps, man, and I'll show you like everything else that's distracting you. You don't have to worry about them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I'm definitely. I'm about to tell my wife, like, babe, I'm gonna go to that class. I'm going. No, because I need to get to it, and I already, we sat down and we look at our finances and we talk about things we want to do and things like that. And that was the one thing. That's why she was looking at me like she wanted to punch me in my stomach. Like she's like, don't talk to me about that now. So, so I'm definitely gonna get into it again. If you guys want to come in, reach out to me. It doesn't matter who you are. You don't need to know us. If you're watching this currently, this is streaming on YouTube. It's streaming on Facebook. It's streaming in a lot of
trading's for
places.
everybody, man.
Yeah. So
It's for everybody.
we need to change the way that we think. Listen, trust me. This guy has been reaching out to me long time ago, and periodically he would jump in and me, I was just lost in my own world because I don't mind investing in anything,
true,
but because
you
I'm
know what
lost
it is in my mind, I'm always looking out for people to win, man. And when I see things happen, I'm like, people that I know, let me reach out to them to let them know, look, man, this stuff is about to do this. It's like, just like I watch what was it, the Suicide Squad, I think I was watching. And then in the movie, I saw Nokia was doing some type of advertising. That was the phone they were using.
Yeah.
And I started texting people. I was like, yo, I just watched Suicide Squad and Nokia is showing out. And then in the morning, we just got on it. And everyone just make a little money on that, man. It was beautiful.
No, yeah, definitely. And I'll definitely find people. I know a few people that, they say that they trade. So I'll reach out to them. But I like to mess with serious people. Like, I don't want to waste your time, and especially my time as well. So,
well, yeah, if you want to get a crew, man, and we'll build that crew and start making millions, I'm with it, man. Because don't forget trading, man. When you have a group of people that are looking at and we know what we're doing,
yeah,
and then we're just looking out for each other and stuff, yo, it's I trade with this guy every morning, man. We go live. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Some of the mistakes that we're calling out for each other it's just beautiful, man. So when you have a community when it comes to trading,
yeah,
it's a much more success for real, man. So if you could get a few people, I'll get a few guys as well that's already doing it, and then we could join that, man, and create this super clique where everyone is making money.
And I think that's super dope, man, because one of the key things you said there is like you guys look out for each other. I think a lot of it too has something to do with everyone is for self, especially in our culture where it's like me. I'm not concerned with actually having other people come on because you want all the money for yourself. You want all it, but you're not realizing the bigger your team, the bigger the gains, the wider your reach, the more you can do in a short period of time because now you're no longer alone. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Well, it does, man. And when it comes to trading, it's even way better, man. When this guy's reading the news, you're checking out the chart, man. When this guy's doing this, checking, oh man, and then we'll come at one and say, yo, man, forget about this one, this is it. And then we all just jump in. And then everyone's just making money, man.
No, I think no, man. Look, you never had to tell me anything else. Now I'm more educated in myself where I'm like, oh, I didn't need the thousands. And when I'm saying thousands, I'm thinking like a big number. Because when you say stock, I'm like Apple, Google, Microsoft. So when I look at their prices, I'm like to do something meaningful with that stock, I gotta put in something. You know what I'm saying? So, is there any additional tips or anything you want to leave anybody with for someone that is currently trading and they just started out, or is there anything you can give them? I mean, the best tip is to start, right?
The best is to keep practicing, man. It's not gonna be over time. But if you do want to really understand, like if you just focus on a breakout pattern.
Yeah.
Meaning like understand the ceiling and the floors, like resistance and support. If you could focus on this, you have a long shot. Resistance and support. Understand that. The same thing the stock reached the top, come back down, found support, and then on the way back up, if it breaks the last time it stops, it's gonna go for a couple. It's gonna run for a couple steps. And if you pay attention to that, you could just every play, man, just collect your little gain, and they add up, man. You spend $100, breakout pattern, boom, 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 collect, you're out, and do it again the next day, and keep growing your account like that slowly. So the tip will be just go on YouTube and focus on resistance and support, breakout pattern, and that will take you to the next level. And then once you're done with that, then you start looking at other patterns that's going to come into play, which is going to be a little bit more confusing. But by the time you get to them, by figuring out the breakout pattern, everything else is going to be so much easier for you to just, I'm going to apply this today. Let's see if it works. So breakout pattern is where you want to start. Know your resistance level and know where there's support. And once you understand that, no one could stop you.
Perfect. And I hear you, brother. I'm ready to jump out the chair and go figure some things out right now. So
yeah, man. Yeah, go on YouTube and watch a couple things, but just watching it won't help, though.
No, you have to actually do it.
Yeah, you have to do it. Yeah. I know for years I've been sitting there looking at things like, oh man, it's so confusing.
Yeah.
It's confusing because you're not really actually physically doing it.
Yeah.
And the more you're doing it, it starts becoming easy. And then everything that's in the past that was confusing, it's like, oh snap, it starts to make sense now. Oh wow, like, oh snap.
Is that a specific software that does that, or is that from like TD?
That's from TD Ameritrade itself. Yeah.
So all the screen with the lines and all of that, that's what you're watching and all of that. Okay.
And the beautiful thing about the software, they have like this section where they teach you a bunch of stuff for free. So you don't even have to pay anyone. So not only you get to see the actual software you're using, but you get someone to teach you step by step how to do things.
And what is the minimum?
It's in your hand. Like they give it to you.
Yeah,
it's up to you now. It's like, oh, you're gonna take the time to learn it. You know, like people pay me because they don't want to take the time to learn it. But I still provide it. It's like, yo, look at this. It's like, nah, man. Like I had this truck driver. He's just on his phone, just like trading. It's like, yo, look. It's like, nah, man, I don't have time for that. Just send me the alert. But people pay for that. Some people don't like to take the time, and some people like, you know.
I love your honesty.
Really push it on them because I want them to pass it to the next person. You know, not just take my alert, but learn something so that way you could share it with someone else. And then it becomes a domino effect where everyone learn how to turn $20 into $500, how to turn $20 into $100. Yeah. And that's my whole idea, man. That's why I don't like the alert so much, because please take the time to learn, because you could share that with someone else and save their lives, man. You could change a whole generation by just passing that information to someone, you know.
No, yeah, and I love your honesty. You see what you did there? A lot of people would have took the opportunity to be like, hey, book me, work with me, become my client, which you do offer that. However, the message that you're saying is, hey, I love to do that, but I also want you to learn from what I'm doing.
I don't want you to just keep paying me, giving you stuff, man. I want you to learn something to be able to pass it to the next person, especially if you have kids.
No, absolutely.
Your kids, you do not want them to go down the same route at all, man. We know it too.
For that account, is there a minimum balance that you have to start with, or you start with anything?
I think $100. But I think the first time when they tell you there's a minimum for the first time, and everything after that, you could just $5, $10, $20, they'll take it. I think it's just for the first time they'll tell you, oh yeah, you need to add $100. But once you've done that, every transaction you want to do, there's no limit to it. And that's what happened to me. I only had $20 in there. Like, look, what am I gonna do? I just looked through some things. It's like, well, I could afford 1,000 of that. Boom, that's it.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like $100. I know there's some people that might be a lot, but you're in New York, New Jersey. We spend that on food,
nothing. Exactly,
on nothing. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
exactly,
there's no more excuses. At least from me. So. Again, guys, reach out to us. Jimmy, I really appreciate you coming on the platform to really give this
hey man, I'm so glad, man. We should do this again, man, because I have so many ways. Like, yo, when I tell you, it's like I open my mind to something brand new. It's like I found so many ways to make money. Like I'm selling domain name.
Yeah. No, that's why I hear you when you said like the marketing thing, and you're taking advantage of your surroundings where they may not be as skilled in those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I went online and saw like what was it? Swag.com was selling for like 1.8 million.
Yeah.
Just because the word is a famous word that people use a lot.
Yeah.
I started going around. I'm like, yo, what's the next big thing?
Let me buy these domains.
And start create a domain name around it, man.
Yeah.
And then now I have like they're like virtual properties, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people don't understand. It's just like you could buy these things and just hold on to them because someone's gonna open something. They're gonna want that.
Yeah, and they're gonna send their broker
on it. That's the price they need to pay.
Yeah, they're gonna send that broker after. Yeah, they're gonna send it to negotiate.
So those are virtual properties, man. So whenever you have little words in your mind, they cost like $2.
Yep.
$5-6 for a domain name.
For
and
the
that's
year
a property you could own.
Yep.
And people don't pay attention to that, man. When that words come to your mind, just go own that, man.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Look,
man.
I remember there was a time where people used to open and I'll end with this. People used to open social media accounts with celebrity names before the celebrity could do it.
Exactly.
So that's why some celebrities will do the real whatever, but before they was like, no, I want my damn name. So they would actually go and pay whoever, which was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, so no, that's dope. But again, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show, man. This was a fantastic episode. I learned so much. It brings so much value to my platform. So I thank you so much for doing that for me. And we'll be in touch. I'll let you know if anybody joins in. For you guys as well, listen, if you've been listening, this has been an hour and 30 minutes of gold. Diamonds, I want to say. So don't let it go past your head. Don't be like me and let years go by before you decide, right? Let's get right to it.
Hey, man, I want to say, like, I wouldn't beat yourself up too much, man, because everything is happening at the right time and at the right moment, man. So
absolutely.
It's probably the perfect moment for you, man. Like you said, you had so much going on. You probably would have been losing so much money because you had so many things happening.
Yeah.
So now it's like the perfect time. So it's happening at the right time, man.
To get on, look. See, I like this guy. Inspirational. You made me feel better about
it. Happening at the right time, man. I'm telling you, man.
The mental state.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Things are just aligning. Like we don't pay attention. Sometimes we holding on to something. It's like, holy shit, man. I was thinking about getting this not too long ago. Now we have it. We don't even know where that we were actually asking for this a couple months ago.
Exactly.
And then we're missing the point of, man, I'm so grateful for this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for real. Yeah. Well, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you hit the special notification so you're alerted when content is coming out like this so you don't miss out. Jimmy, it was a pleasure.
Hey, man, it was a pleasure, man.
All right, boss. Take it easy.
Amazing, man.
Tell the wife and kids I said hi.
You too, man.
All right.